If you know Thomas Sowell, you gotta respect him. One of the brightest minds in America, conservative gentleman. This guy has written so many books. My bookshelf is most of his Thomas Sowell books. I'm trying to read all of them. I'll be done by the time I'm 40, I think. But this is a man that doesn't mess around. This man is very fact-based. So he didn't like Donald Trump. And I want to see what happens after Donald Trump has 1 year in office.
Donald Trump. During the presidential campaign, you wrote a column, this is when you still had your column, that appeared under the headline, "Choose Trump. He'd be easier to impeach." And you wrote that voters faced a choice between, I'm quoting you, two out-of-control people, one of whom is going to be president. And you said since Hillary Clinton would be the first woman chief executive, she'd be very difficult to impeach, but Trump would be easier to kick out, so vote for Trump. Now that he's been in office for a year, what do you make of him?
Well, it's interesting. Oh gosh, let me say that just recently Walter Williams sent me a video of Donald Trump in his mid-30s being interviewed, and so I've had to back off on one of the things I've said, which is that Trump is someone who has simply never grown up. He was very grown up in his mid-30s.
Speaking of retrogression.
And it's scary because how many people are more mature in their mid-30s than they are at age 70?
All right.
And given the trend line, how optimistic should we be about his becoming more grown up as time goes on?
All right. All right.
In terms of the people he's surrounded himself with, I think on the whole, they're a better bunch than either of the last two presidents had. So he has very good people. I think Jim Mattis as Secretary.
Defense.
Yeah, but other people are around him. And the question is he going to listen to them?
All right. Let me play you a brief excerpt of Donald Trump himself. This is from the State of the Union address this past January.
This will be my first time to hear it.
Something I'm very proud of. African American unemployment stands at the lowest rate ever recorded.
Okay.
Oh my!
He produces a maybe the statistic isn't quite right either. Maybe
no, it is. It is.
It is.
Yeah.
And there you see a shot. You see Republicans standing and applauding, and there you.
If you've read a Thomas Sowell book, this man is just basically articulating statistics. That's all he is about. That's why he's just right and undebatable. No one will debate him. Everybody runs from this motherfucker because this guy just statistic after statistic after statistic, and then he puts statistic against statistic. Oh man, and that's what he really does basically in his books, and he just articulates it well. So I would take his word for it. And if you don't want to take his word for it, just read a book and try to fact check him. Just please try that.
You see a shot of Democrats who are sitting on their hands, including many members of the Black Caucus in Congress. What do you make of that?
That, as with so many other groups around the world, the leaders of groups that are lagging are often themselves one of the biggest handicaps of those groups, because they have to depict the problems in ways that will allow them to play the role of rescuers. And so there'll be no talk about how you can do this or that for yourself. There'll be talk about what we can get the government to deliver for you. And usually that's a lot of words and things that have bad effects. And that's true not only with blacks in the United States, it's true of people in the lower income people in England and else.
Gangster, bro. Gangster. Dr. Thomas Sowell, the teacher.
What is the real story of